Hi, my name's Nick, and this is my mental health selfie. If you're suffering with a mental health issue, it's difficult enough, but if you're the partner or loved one of somebody who's suffering with a mental health issue, you do not know what you're doing, and this is coming from me, and this is my idea on how you must cope and what's going on. So, about a month ago, my wife was diagnosed with severe depression and anxiety-related disorders, and it all came to a head just before Christmas. There was no going back, but it had been coming for 5 years, but nobody had told us what was going on. My wife had become withdrawn, she'd become tired, she'd become isolated, she'd become like a zombie really, and I didn't know what to do, and I became confused. I think that's stage one, confused. I didn't know what the hell was going on, but I found myself being moaned at, being blamed, and that made me part two, angry. I was angry at her, I was angry at the situation, and very, very frustrated, which is part three. I kept on going through the same thing. I kept on being blamed, being argued at, being shouted, being called all the names under the sun, but it wasn't my fault. Something within my wife was consuming her, and I didn't know what it was, and nobody told me what was going on. Eventually, I found myself being alone. My wife had turned into this other person. She wasn't interested in me. She had far too many other things to deal with. She was well within her own head. She wasn't interacting, she wasn't communicating, she didn't get up sometimes, she didn't look after the kids sometimes, she didn't do the shopping sometimes, but no day was ever the same. One day it was the shopping, next day was the kids, next day it wasn't waking up. You never know where you are, or I never did either anyway. And I was completely confused, I was angry, I was frustrated, and I was desperately trying to bite my tongue. I knew something was wrong, but nobody would tell me what that was. And finally I became scared. My wife was this Tasmanian devil, and she was sucking everybody in, the kids. I felt fear for them, fear for myself, and I couldn't tell anybody. I was alone, really for the first time alone, in a house full of people. So what can you do to cope? Well, you can do what I did. I made sure that my wife got help, and I did too. I found a therapist that I could pay for. I could tell all my problems to and just check that I wasn't going under. I kept my strength, I kept my resilience, and I kept my normality when I thought everything around me was going under. My wife could tell me it was all my fault, and I wouldn't believe her. She would not wake up, and I wouldn't get angry. It would help me understand the world around me when my wife didn't know what was going on. And I also got my wife some help, and that helped her to start to realise what was going on too. I didn't hide away. Things came to a head and I had to tell people, and I wasn't ashamed to tell people. And you shouldn't be either. Don't make it your problem, your burden, and it will drag you down. Seriously. It will take you down, and you'll be right down there with your partner. You need to be strong. You need to be that knight or this angel in shining armour, whoever you are. You need to be strong when all around you seems chaotic. Don't bear a grudge. This is not your partner's fault, it is something within them, an illness. Remember that. Separate the two. Your partner has far too much going on to deal with you. They are consumed, and that is so tiring. It is such a burden for them. They don't know what they're doing, and every day they are consumed and they're being held down. They're doing this, it's almost like some sort of supernatural force, but it isn't. Remember that you love them. You want to help them. You don't want to hate them. You're doing all this. You're coping. You're finding these ways because you love them. You can tell friends. Friends might not understand. They might not understand the word depression and how severe that can be on your life. But at least you'll get it out there. You won't take it out on your partner. And you'll remember that share the nice things. Enjoy the programs. Enjoy the films at home. Do something nice once a week. Go ice skating. Get out of your house. Do something different. Get out of both your headspaces. But remember, it's all about love. It's not about hate. I hope that's fair. And I hope that's useful. And maybe there'll be more soon. That's all from me for now. Bye.